Hello friends, my name is Shayla, and today I am here to wrap up December 2016's reading month for you. I know this video is like super late and way behind, but I still want to wrap up everything I read for you. I had a really good reading month in December, and I read lots of amazing things. So I really wanted to sit here and discuss them with you, and let's do this. So I read lots of Brandon Sanderson and finished lots of Brandon Sanderson in December. So let's start with the obvious, shall we? I read Shadows of Self and Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson, finishing off the current Wax and Wane series. There's still one more book that's supposed to come out in this series, but I am now officially current on this series. I really thoroughly enjoyed this series. The characters of Wax and Wane are lovable and enjoyable, and Steris is my favorite. Like, the first book she kind of annoyed me, and I didn't know what to think of her, but by the end of the third book, like, Steris is my homegirl. I just love her. And this takes place in his Mistborn world, which starts in the original trilogy with the Final Empire, the Well of Ascension, and the Hero of Ages. And then there's the Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, and the Bands of Mourning. He's taking a hiatus from the series for a little bit, and then he'll come back to it to focus on some other projects, aka Stormlight Archive number 3, which, oh, I'm so excited. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit rambly here. Both of these were 5-star books for me. I absolutely adored them. If you have not continued on in the Mistborn world, I highly suggest you do. These characters are super lovable, and they're just awesome. Next up is my buddy read with April Sarah from the month of December last year, and that was Elite by Mercedes Lackey. This is book 2 in her Hunter series, and I really just enjoy this world and this series, and she continues to expand on the monsters and paranormal creatures that you get to see within this world. So much character development in this book. It was insane. Oh, I highly suggest picking up this series if you haven't. The first book is called Hunter, and then the second book is Elite. Next up, I finished a trilogy, and that with Endure by Sarah B. Larson. This is the third book in the Defy trilogy, and I have to say I was slightly disappointed by this book. This ended up being more like 3 stars for me. There were so many things and decisions characters made that were so uncharacteristic of their characters. I know I just said characters like a bajillion times, but whatever. That it just was, it didn't make me happy. I did not love how this series concluded. I really, really wish that it would have ended differently and that a lot of different things would have been going on within this book. There was so much potential for an amazing third book, and I was disappointed. I love books 1 and 2, and this one just fell flat for me. Next up is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive series. These are his monster series where they are epically long, epically huge, and epically awesome. This was definitely 5 stars. This book series is all about Kaladin and Shallan and this beautiful, amazing world, this beautiful, amazing magic system that has to do with Stormlight, hence the Stormlight Archives. It's really hard to describe and summarize this series because there's so much going on all the time. It's very indicative of the Wheel of Time series for those of you who are familiar with the Wheel of Time series in fantasy. But I feel like I find much more enjoyment in this, and I think it's just Brandon's writing as opposed to Robert Jordan's writing. Brandon Sanderson actually finished off the last 3 Wheel of Time books, so once I get to that point, I'm sure I will end up loving the end of the Wheel of Time series, but this book was completely epic from start to finish. I highly recommend picking up this series. Kaladin here on the cover. My cat is named Kaladin after this particular character, and in this book it made much more sense as to why my husband chose it. But anyway, so I have to say, you guys really need to check out the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, but you need to read his other stuff first, otherwise this will taint you for everything else, and everything else won't feel quite as good. Just quite, though. Next up is a book that actually came out January 3rd. I received an art copy and read it just before Christmas, and that is The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett. This book, our main protagonist is Hawthorne. Hawthorne is a girl who watched Lizzie Levitt from a distance, and Lizzie Levitt has gone missing. And so it's all about what she thinks happened to Lizzie Levitt, what changes in Hawthorne's life because of Lizzie Levitt's disappearance, and all of those kind of things. This is kind of what I wanted Everything I Never Told You to be, but it wasn't. And I really didn't enjoy that one, but I enjoyed the execution of this one much better. I felt like there was much more mystery, much more intrigue going on within this one as opposed to the other one, and I think it's just a writing style thing. I think the other one was too... Everything I Never Told You was very gritty and brought up every bad and negative thing you could feel while going through that, where this one takes a slightly more positive look at it, and I think that's why I ended up enjoying this one a little bit more. The writing was fast and easy. I flew through it. I mean, it's big type in my art copy, but I do suggest picking this up. If you're curious about it at all, probably check it out from the library first before purchasing it, but that's just a personal opinion thing where I've gotten to a point where I'm starting to filter what I'm purchasing. If I'm nervous about it at all, I check it out from the library first. And then if I end up loving it, I go and I purchase it and I keep it on my shelves because I know I'll reread it. So that's how I feel about The 100 Lies of Lizzie Levitt. I thought about doing a full review of this one, but it's pretty easy to sum up just in a wrap-up that I enjoyed it. Go check it out and enjoy. The last three all, of course, are manga. You know that I am keeping current on certain series in manga. So I finally picked up Volume 5 from Forget Me Not. I really enjoyed it. I flew through it. I felt like this one went deeper and deeper and gave us better possibilities as to who the mystery woman is in this series. And I do suggest checking out this manga if you haven't. And last but not least is Volume 7 and Volume 8 of Fruits Basket. You guys know my love of Fruits Basket. Both of these were 5 stars for me. I thoroughly enjoy this manga. The anime definitely stops abruptly and in a stupid spot, and they ended it stupidly. But I do suggest picking up these beautiful collector's editions. They are great, they are worth the value, and I thoroughly enjoy them. So guys, that was the reading month of December for me. Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these and your thoughts on them. And let me know your favorite read from the month of December. Talk to you guys later. Bye.